All right, everybody. It's Tuesday, September 27th, and I'm not going to engage in aggressive mode yet, but we're getting close to it. We got some ads. We got to set the table.
We got to pay the bills.
We got to pay the bills. My name is Billy Ray Mitchell. I'm calling in for this is literally my not last hurrah, but my last couple minutes here in New Jersey as I will be driving to Newport, Rhode Island to link back up with my brother. Pat Finn is in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. And we're the Sons of Saturday. We have a great podcast for you today. We are going to preview the North Carolina game for you for the first 15-ish, 20 minutes. And then we're going to swing it over. We're going to pass it over. Danny Dimes, Pat Finn is going to swing it over to our guy, David Hale, and talk about the ACC in general. We love David Hale. David Hale, friend of the podcast. We can say that now. I think we said that after the first time he's been on. But now he's an official friend of the podcast. He's been here for a couple times. We have him a seat. He's got his own desk. He's got his own desk at Sons of Saturday headquarters. He's been coming.
Shout out Irby.
Shout out Rob Irby. That's right. That's right. So before we do that, this podcast is brought to you by Main Street Pharmacy. You went ahead and you got your pins for the Boston College game, and we won. You went ahead and you got your West Virginia pins. We lost. So judging by the way that it's been going, if you head on over there and you get your pins for Miami, we're going to win. So head on over, get your pins, any type of pharmaceutical needs, any type of household needs, anything like that. Main Street Pharmacy, you are more than a number. You are a neighbor. Now, here we go. I'm taking my hat off. I am putting it on backwards, and I am engaging aggressive. I don't like this team. We're letting it fly mode. I hate Carolina. I hate the Tar Heels. I hate them. So, Pat, bring me a Hokie haiku so we can get this party started. I'm amped up, Pat. I'm amped up. I've buried the West Virginia thing. We're in the ACC play. The Hokies are number one. I mean, we had David Hale come on and talk about the first place Virginia Tech Hokies football team, first place in the ACC, and we're just looking to keep climbing that ladder. And it starts this week with Carolina. In Carolina. It might rain. It might pour. That's what we have going on this week. Pat, haiku me, man.
Love the backwards hat. Haiku off the dome. I think the best thing about David Hale, well, there's a lot of good things about David Hale, but I like that his last name is not Heel. It's Hale.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go with like rain, sleet, or hail. We'll play Carolina and beat them all the way to hell.
Yeah, I guess hail, rain, snow, sleet, whatever. No, that was more so just hail, not heel. Hail, yeah. Here's my haiku. Bill hates the Tar Heels. I also hate the Heels. No, I also hate the Tar Heels. Let's win on Saturday. That's
Saturday. Let's win on Saturday.
All right. Let's hope the offensive game plan is better than my Hokie haiku game plan. But let's jump into Hokie history.
Let's do it.
Let's let it fly. Virginia Tech versus North Carolina. The most recent meetup.
Maybe one of our favorite memories in Lane Stadium.
Maybe one of our favorite memories at Ollie's in Frisco, Colorado of all time. Yes. Virginia Tech decimated Brady Manick and Hubert Davis and all those Tar Heels in Brooklyn in March in the semifinals of the ACC tournament. Bet you didn't think this was going that way, but it is. We beat them 72-59. Darius Maddox had 20 points, and then we went and we cut down the nets the next night. I know Carolina had a very good tournament. I know they went to the finals, but I don't remember them taking home any hardware. So shout out to Keve Aluma, who also had 18 points that night. But okay, for real, Virginia Tech and North Carolina, Hokie history. How many total meetings here? Let's see. 25 plus 19. That's about 44 total meetings between the Hokies and the Heels. Virginia Tech leads the series 25, 13, and 6. We've actually tied Carolina 6 times. Of those, playing on the road, we are going into Kenan Stadium on Saturday, 3:30 on the ACC network. We are 17, 7, and 6. So we have all 6 of those ties. We're at Kenan Stadium. Kind of weird. taking a walk down memory lane here. Some recent games in Virginia Tech, Carolina memory that have been a ton of fun for Hokie fans. Number 1, 2016.
Crushed!
The game. Like, this is like the barometer. This is the gold standard of fun away games. Whether you're a student at Virginia Tech, you live in Nova, you live in Charlotte, you live in Richmond, you live in the Triangle, you get in your car, you drive to Kenan Stadium in the midst of Hurricane Matthew. Right down the road, Notre Dame and NC State are playing, and there's like 12 fumbles, and it's like a 9-6 ball game earlier in the day. Our game was at 3:30 at Kenan. Oh, you guys need to cancel the game. Why are we going to play in a hurricane? Blah, blah, blah. And then Virginia Tech was just tougher. Virginia Tech was tougher on offense. They were tougher on defense. They were tougher on special teams. Greg Stroman had a great game. Gerard Evans, Sam Rogers, the entire
Chris
defense
scored, I think. Oh man,
Chris Cunningham had a touchdown. I think Bucky had a touchdown. It was everybody eats during Hurricane Matthew, 34-3, and Tar Heel Illustrated put out a tweet later on that season disregarding the Hurricane game. It has been, I think it was like 708 days since Mitchell Trubisky's last interception. Disregarding the Hurricane game. Because football games do not count if they're played in hurricanes. And that's why you see on Twitter.
Facts matter. They're important.
That's why you see on Twitter Carolina fans saying, move the game, move the game. They want to move it up. They want to move it back because, they don't want to tailgate in a hurricane. They don't want to go to a football game in a hurricane. They don't want to see Drake May get his jersey dirty in a hurricane. 2017. 59-7 in Lane Stadium on homecoming. We wore the orange jerseys. We looked great. Ricky Walker had a touchdown. Reggie Floyd had a pick six. Greg Stroman had a punt return for a touchdown. Everybody was eating on that day too.
Wow.
2018. Javon Quillen, Rayshard Ashby, heroics on the goal line. I think they forced the fumble from, I think it was Michael Carter. Mm-hmm. And then Ryan Willis leads a heroic drive, hits Dalton Keene right in the waning seconds of the Saturday night. And Virginia Tech wins 22-18 in 2018 in Kenan Stadium. 2019, our favorite game.
Talk about it, Pat. Talk about it.
Game. Patterson drives his way in.
Virginia Tech has won it in six overtimes. Pat, we recorded a 3-hour podcast after that game. I went back to I'll never forget this. And we recorded about an hour, and then we were like, I think we're just so excited. We need to start this over. So we basically recorded 4 hours of podcast following that game. But I mean, there was so much to talk about. I'm getting kittens thinking about it. It was awesome.
If you're ever having a bad day, go on YouTube and just type in, full game, Virginia Tech versus North Carolina, 6 overtimes, 2019. It's Ladler again.
Bo Corrales.
It's Hazleton. I mean, that game.
Ruggles missed it again.
Ruggles missed it. The game had it all, man. It had it all. It's big play Trey Turner with the touchdown. All right, so we all know how that game ended. Mac Brown did not win.
No.
2020, the COVID game in Kenan.
We were there.
We were there with Jack Click. Mm-hmm. Pretty much had to sit our entire offense and defense that game. I mean, that was brutal. I feel like our entire team. Tyler Matheny played. We were all out with COVID that game. Almost sparked a late game comeback.
We did. Had an onside kick we recovered. A couple big plays in the second half. Really fun Hendon Hooker game. I think Hendon Hooker finished with like 380 yards. He played awesome.
He had a good second half. He had a tough first half.
That's right. Yeah.
2022, Hurricane Ian, Saturday, 3:30. Now,
well, dude, we didn't talk about 2021. 2021 was awesome.
Oh my gosh! I got.
How could we forget?
I was still excited from 2019.
2021 was awesome. We rolled in there. America stuck their flag in the ground and they said, hey, look, COVID's over. We're all going to Lane Stadium. And everybody went to Lane Stadium. I cried. We high-fived. We hugged. We won. And Sam Howell finished his career, 1-5 against Tech, 1-4. But all right, 1-5 is definitely not what it was. But it was 1-3 or 1-4.
Sam Howell lost in 19, 1-20, lost in 21. He was 1-2.
Okay, 1-2. He finished with a losing record. It was awesome. Yeah, you're right. 1-5 would have been obscene. But yeah, 2021 was great too. We have made it a point to crush Carolina. That has been our MO. It has been what we do. We play Carolina. Carolina is a soft football team. Tech is not a soft football team. And I'm hoping to continue it this year. So, Pat, set the stage for this year.
Carolina's coming off a loss at home against Notre Dame. Carolina's defense, not good. Virginia Tech coming off a loss at home against West Virginia. Virginia Tech's offense, not good. Something's got to give. And guess what's coming right in the way of it? A tropical storm called Hurricane Ian, Mr. Ian. Now, obviously, we want to pay our respects to everyone who may be in harm's way this week. Those folks down in Florida, anyone on the coast, want to make a tribute to anyone in harm's way and just hope that everyone is safe throughout this. I'll
repeat this part too. Make smart decisions. If you are in Florida and you have family in Florida or you are told to evacuate, please do what they're telling you to do. Listen to what officials are telling you. But absolutely, thoughts and prayers are with everybody in the Tampa Bay area and the Carolinas and Florida as well.
That said, this game on Saturday, I haven't seen any, my phone hasn't started vibrating with the loud, chirping noise, telling me that I need to get out of here. It's not going to be that big of a deal in North Carolina as of Tuesday, 6:33 p.m.
Well, they did move the South Carolina game. That's where I got a little hairy. They moved the South Carolina game up to Thursday night.
Bill, we are not in South Carolina. We are in North Carolina. So, maybe you should pull out your compass and figure out where this game is being played. But,
You're right.
So, no, I mean, you got Carolina fans asking to move the game, and that's an indictment on their fan base. If this game is being played in Lawrenceburg, I don't think that would be happening.
This next segment is just an opportunity to blow off some steam. We're gonna do a snake draft type thing, or just rattle off reasons why we hate Carolina. But before we talk about things that we hate, something that I love is First and Main. And you know why I love First and Main? Because I hate sitting in traffic, waiting in lines, not being able to get into restaurants. If you're having that problem, if you're on Main Street, you're showing your friends around, you're like, yo, let's go grab food over here. Oh, we got a 30-minute wait. Oh, okay. Let's find somewhere to park so we can get a T-shirt. Oh, there are no spots. Oh, okay. So you get back on the road, you drive on down to First and Main. You got all the options that you can need. You go bowling, watch a movie, buy a sweatshirt, go to Talbot's. You can eat over at Avellino's. Actually, really good Italian food. And that's coming from a Jersey guy. You got good Italian food over at Avellino's. So they got all the options for you. Eat, play, entertain, shop, whatever you need to do. You can get it done at First and Main. Here's why Carolina sucks. I'll go first. Carolina is, whether you like the word, you hate the word, you disagree with the word, Carolina is the definition of anti-grit. They have no toughness, no stick-to-itiveness. You have never watched a football game that Carolina plays, and you say, yo, that game they played last week was a fist fight. Saw a lot of running the ball, a lot of physicality, and Carolina was just the tougher team. No one's ever said that. No one. That has never been said, ever. Not in my lifetime. So that's one reason why I hate Carolina. Go ahead, Pat.
I just don't like that their fans don't care. For me, I hang my hat on our fan base being awesome.
Yes.
Carolina fans are not awesome, okay? They are not awesome. They don't even know if a game's being played, if at any point in the season, unless you have some younger fans who, might have recently graduated and were on the Sam Howell train or whatever. But they just don't care. They don't get up. They don't go to games. They don't even watch the games.
Well,
They
Pat,
say,
you saw this on the you saw this on the timeline. You got into it with a guy who was like begging their fan base to show, oh, God forbid I put the wine decanter away and I marched down to Chapel Hill to watch our team play Notre Dame. Can you please put your home magazine or your Crate and Barrel catalog away for 15 minutes and go down and support your team to play Notre Dame? They can't do that. When we were in Charleston, we were golfing. We're golfing in Charleston, having a good old time. Good old fun time. And these Carolina guys who are wearing Carolina stuff are behind us and they want to play through. Obviously, no problem, not an issue. And they're like, oh, you guys are Virginia Tech fans. We're like, yep, we play Old Dominion. We're watching the game at the Brick. We can't wait. Kickoff's at 7. Who do you play this week? Man, I don't know who we play. I know basketball starts in 2 weeks. Perfect representation of that clown fan base that does not care about football. America's game. How do you not care about America's game? You pour all this money into it. You get all these recruits. You hire this coach, and they don't give a damn. They don't care. They do not care. Okay, so you got their fan base doesn't care. I'm just going to go with, look, powder blue is cool, but you can't do powder blue and Argyle. This is not the New York City fashion show. Okay, this is not a knitting show. This is not, sips and strokes where you go and you drink wine and you paint pictures with your girlfriend. That's not it. That's their whole vibe. Their entire thing is tapestries on the wall, these little bead things that you walk through, or like nice little plates and cups and tea glasses. That's what it is. They're literally Virginia South. That's what they are. They're Virginia South. And they actually get good talent in their football program and grossly underperform. Virginia just sucks. Carolina has good talent and is soft. Soft. They're like that kid you went to high school with, okay? He's 6'6". He's 280 pounds. Maybe his dad played at like Cornell or Boston College or Penn State, and he comes into the football practice for the first day, and you're like, oh, man, dude, this guy's going to be a stud. I can't wait. And then you see him get down in a three-point stance and he puts one finger on the ground and then just kind of falls over himself. And you're just like, what the hell is this? That's Carolina. That is Carolina. Anything else, Pat? Any other reasons you hate Carolina?
I was going to say the guy on Twitter, he was pretty much just trying to justify why Carolina fans should be excited about that Notre Dame game. And I was like, why do you need to justify this? Why do you need to sell me on this?
No.
Your program is undefeated. You got Notre Dame at home. It's a 3:30 kick. Your quarterback is a world beater.
Yes.
I mean, their quarterback is elite.
Easily.
Drake.
Yes.
Their quarterback should go play somewhere else. I know Luke May, obviously. Luke May is the older brother. Luke May, Carolina basketball god. Want to go in and say, hey, the May family can play multiple sports.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I think that's got to be one of the biggest things too, is that this program has such an opportunity to actually make the ACC look good and just doesn't ever.
I mean, the
resources are unlimited there. They're putting Michael Jordan's logo on a football uniform, and they are the Gucci team, and we're the gritty team. We talked about this last year. Gritty versus Gucci. Mm-hmm. And they're just not football, man. They're just not football.
I think it's weird, right? Because you have a sense of jealousy, like, and I'm going to explain this. I have a sense of jealousy. I'm jealous of the recruits you land. I'm jealous of, I guess that's it. I'm really just jealous about the recruits you land. And you guys are cool. You got all this stuff, but you don't do anything. Like, if Virginia Tech recruited at the level that they recruited at, they'd be winning a ton of games because our culture would instill hardness and win and beat the hell out of other people into those recruits. These recruits, they just go there and it's just like, all right, we're going to play patty cake all day. Maybe we'll trace some, oak leaves on a piece of paper like you did in Boy Scouts when we were super small, and make a macaroni plate with a smiley face. Like, that's what they do over there. And that's why they lose. That's why they suck. So, that's Carolina. My last thing, and then we can move on and actually talk about the football game. I'm just having a ton of fun with this. I want to address, I think it's almost like an older fan rite of passage. So when I talk about how much I hate Carolina, because I do, a lot of people will say, oh, like, do you hate Carolina more than you hate Virginia? Do you hate Carolina more than you hate West Virginia? And I'll just be like, look, I hate Carolina. Like, I just hate Carolina. And the instantaneous reaction is like, well, that's just because you're younger. You just hate Carolina because you're younger. I'm like, no, I hate Carolina because they stand for everything that I hate. That is why I hate Carolina. Have you gotten that a lot, Pat, where people will almost like judge your age based upon how much you hate Carolina or some of these other teams?
I just went through the Hokie history. I would ask anyone else to go through Hokie history of the last, honestly, decade and find better football games or more fun memories for anyone in the Virginia Tech fan base. So it's like, yeah, I get the you're young thing, but it's also just like, this is what today is, you know?
Yeah.
And there's nothing in the UVA rivalry that's like, I mean, okay, there's a lot in it, but it
hasn't been a compelling football game.
Yeah, it hasn't been a compelling football game. I get genuinely fired up to play Carolina because I have a disdain for them. So yes, we're on the same page here, and I don't think you should be getting any flack for hating Carolina more than other schools. I think it's been a big part of the last decade of Virginia Tech football. So
that is true. Let's move it right along. All right, I've gotten all my hate out. You have any other hate stuff?
I think that's it for now.
Okay, for now. We're going to move on to the preview. It's not going to be extremely long, but I do want to mention that our friends over at CMG Leasing, by the way, if all of you, they handed out 10,000 shirts for the West Virginia game. They looked great. I got mine. Really appreciate that from CMG Leasing. Go ahead and check out the Edge Apartments now. They're accepting applications for 2022 and 2023. Where is it, Billy Ray? Where is it? Oh, the Edge is right across from VT campus. You don't have to park on campus, which is a nightmare. Don't want to do that. So you can literally walk right to class. It is the best off-campus student housing. You walk over there. They got the pool. They got a beautiful facility. You can walk over. You can literally walk to L-Rods. You could almost throw a baseball, depending on how strong you are, if you're lifting weights and whatnot. It's close to downtown. Everything is included. Not everybody's doing that nowadays. Your water, your heating, your everything. It's all included. It's fully furnished. Love fully furnished. You don't have to go and ask mom and dad to Venmo you $1,000 so you can buy a couch you're going to throw out in 12 months. So that's awesome. Apply today at vtcampusedge.com or text VT-EDGE to 540-202-1638. That is our CMG Leasing read. Go check them out. They're awesome. And I know some of you guys and gals are looking for places to live. Look, here it is. It's very simple, Pat. It's very, very simple. This is a tale of two teams that are amazing at what the opposing team sucks at. Plain and simple. Our defense is top 10 in America, which is pretty awesome. UNC has a top 10 scoring offense in America. They're 8th in the country. Our offense is lethargic. Our offense, I actually get physically ill watching our offense so far. Now, maybe that'll change. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, we're going to be pretty bad. But the offense is not good. That has been the thorn in our heel as of late. And then Carolina's defense is ranked 126th. You like that? You like that heel reference? Carolina's defense is ranked 126th out of 131 teams. So at the end of the day, it's going to come down to, can we score points or can Carolina stop us from scoring points? That's what it's going to be. It's a tale of two teams that could not be more different. And Pat, I'm going to give you a little crow here. Little crow. Pat Finn on Hot Wings and Hot Takes said that Drake May was going to be in the Heisman conversation. What he left out was that Drake May is 100% deserving of being in the Heisman Trophy conversations. Drake May has thrown for 1,231 yards. He has thrown 16 touchdowns and 1 interception. So Drake May, as all of you kids like to say, Drake May is him. He is indeed him. But it's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be raining. I don't know if he can throw the ball in the rain. We're going to have to run the ball. Hopefully we're healthier. The roster or depth chart came out today. It looks like Keyshawn King is still listed as RB1, Jalen Holston as RB2, and Chance Black as RB3. I am looking for, in this game, Pat, I'm interested to hear what you're looking for, but in this game, I am looking for any type of know what we're doingness, effort, results, movement on the front line. I'm begging you, offensive line. I'm begging you. You have a chance. If we win this game, you're going to fix a lot of how people are feeling right now. You're going to fix a ton of how people are feeling right now if you can find a way to beat Carolina. And you're going to have to run the ball. There's no way to not run the ball today, on Saturday. None. It's going to pour. It's going to be, you're going to have a lot of footprints. You're going to have pruny shoes. Your feet are going to be pruny. Your hands are going to be pruny. But this is what you love as an offensive lineman. An opportunity to run through someone's face who everybody tells you is better than you all the time. And in the back of your head, these clowns are not better than me. You're going to have an opportunity to showcase that and go to 2-0 in the ACC and to take a stranglehold on the ACC standings against a team that is soft. That's my challenge to you. Issue challenged. Offensive line. Punch these guys in the mouth. They're the 4 stars, the 5 stars that everybody's writing about, winning all state honors and all of this. And they get to Carolina. They haven't performed. Expose these frauds. Please. I beg of you. Expose these frauds. You're going to have a chance. It's going to be a fist fight. They don't like fist fights. That's what it's going to be. I'm fired up, Pat. I'm like shaking. Whew.
I can see it. I love it. We've got our work cut out for us on the defensive side of the ball. We know how good their offense is. They're averaging 46.5 points a game. That's 8th in the country. Mm-hmm. They're going to move the ball on us if we're on the field the whole time, if our defense is on. I guess what I meant to say by that is our offense will dictate this game. You just said it. I don't have much to add to that, but we need to run the ball the outside. We need to use the East-West game. Connor Blumrick needs the ball in his hands 10 times on Saturday. 10. Get the ball to Connor B. 10. Blue. Blumrick. Blue. Blumrick. I want both of them to have the ball in their hands for most of the game. Okay. Grant Wells might run the ball to the outside a little bit. I know David Hale thinks Grant Wells is going to have a big day on the ground.
That'd be awesome. I love that.
This game will be dictated by Virginia Tech's opportunity to establish the run. That's really it. If we don't do that, nothing's happening. We're not going to be able to do anything. So hopefully we can, because Carolina's defense is the worst that we'll play all year outside of Wofford.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, they're giving up 39.5 points a game. That's a lot of points, Jay.
Virginia Tech is getting 9 points at Carolina. The over-under is set at 51.5. I don't know who set that line. I would be going under. Just a heads up. I'd be going under. But before we get into the lines, let's talk about who is presenting them for us, and that is our friends over at DraftKings. Now, look, the NFL action is in full swing over at DraftKings Sportsbook. We're talking touchdowns, big plays, and even bigger wins. This is the official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. To make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped-up same-game parlays once per game all day, all season long. All you need to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code SOS to get $200 in free bets. If your team wins when you place a $5 bet on any football game, that's code SOS only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sporting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Wyoming, 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado and New Hampshire, 888-789-7777 in Connecticut, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Indiana, 877-8-HOPE-NY in New York, or visit OPGR in Oregon, or text the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. And lastly, 1-888-532-3500 in Virginia. The lines. Virginia Tech getting 9 points, over under 51.5. Pat Finn, hit me with a score prediction.
Is this the rabbit pulling the rabbit out of the hat game?
I mean,
I would love for it to be. I don't care about beating Pitt if we can beat Carolina on the road.
Yeah.
In the Hurricane.
Yeah. You beat Carolina, it's all forgiven. I am not thinking about the West Virginia game ever the rest of the season. I'm not. I mean,
even just looking at October, you got NC State, Miami, Pitt, and Carolina. Like, I probably value this game the very highest, or the most high right now. 20-17 Virginia Tech. Like,
yeah. I'm not gonna. I literally asked you before we press record. I was like, "Am I really gonna pick us to win this game?"
It's gonna rain. We're gonna need
I'm gonna pick us to win this game because I hate Carolina, and there's no COVID, and it's gonna rain, and that's it. So I'm going 12-6. I'm going with a field goal affair. You can't kick field goals with your heels. You'll miss it every single time. So I'm going 12-6. Will Ross going to trot out there and make it happen. But yeah.
Do you realize how ridiculous your score predictions are every single week?
No. Yeah, I know. I didn't claim to be, Galileo. I'm not reading this in the stars. I'm just telling you what I think. And you know what? Often wrong. But you know what? That's why they call it a prediction and not a no diction. So that's right. 12-6. Yeah.
So you think the 8th best offense in the country is going to score 6 points?
It's going to rain a lot.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. I don't know. That's my prediction. What are your before we pass it over to David Hale, what are your Sharky shout-outs?
My Sharky shout-outs are the folks heading up to the game on Saturday. The gritty Hokie fans who will be in attendance because we know how fun Hurricane games are. I wouldn't miss this one for the world. It's going to be the frog tog effect. It's going to be the poncho effect. It's going to be there's more orange and maroon than baby blue in the stands effect. So shout out to the folks making the trip. Hey, go ahead and buy a poncho at Alumni Hall if you're in Blacksburg, and let's have some fun. I have a few tickets. Hit me up on Twitter if you're looking. Trying to get rid of some tickets.
There you go. No, shout out to you guys. I'm excited. I spent 5 weeks away from home. My brother probably thinks I hate him, so I had to head back to New England. I'll be watching the game up there. I'm really excited about it. And yeah, I have no doubt that the crowd is going to be awesome. It's going to be a Virginia Tech crowd, and get the job done. Come back with a win, Pat. Come back with a win. Get home. Defrost is the wrong word. Dehydrate. Be less pruny. But find a way to get it done. That's it for us. We're going to go ahead and kick it over to our friend David Hale to talk about the ACC. We will talk to you soon. Now, stay tuned. We do have the Hokie Heat podcast returning this week, and we also have a Locks of Saturday podcast coming your way to talk to you about all the lines. It was tough. Got to tell you, last week, Thursday game, woof. It was tough to figure out the schedule. But we're back. We're back, and we're ready for the next Thursday game. So here we go. Moving it over to David Hale.